We've been hearing about the big plans to transform public transportation in Gauteng. The Gauteng Department of Roads and Transport have acknowledged that commuters are feeling challenged and frustrated every day regarding this and have developed a master plan for the province. Of course, the biggest challenges lie in Johannesburg, which is the economic hub of South Africa. Well, to discuss further how things will change over the course of the next 10 years or so in the space of public transportation, I am joined by the MEC of Gauteng Roads and Transport, Ismail Vadi. Welcome to Joburg tomorrow.
Thank you very much.
Great to have you on the show.
My pleasure.
To begin with, let's go behind the inspiration of this master plan. I'm assuming that is based on certain elements in public transportation that's outdated.
I think we have an outdated public transportation system. Gauteng and Johannesburg in particular is a fast developing city. We have massive in-migration into our province and into the city. We estimate that our population doubles every 15 years. And that's putting huge pressure on all services, whether it's schools, clinics, etc. But in the area of public transport, we've lagged behind substantially in the last 20 years. And we're playing catch up now and beginning to invest quite a bit in terms of infrastructure and the development of an integrated public transportation system. And the key elements of that is really getting the rail as the backbone of the system. So to revitalize Metro Rail, because it's a 50-year-old system, we've got very old trains. The cabling system is completely outdated. It's based still on manual systems rather than modern technology. So we've got to revitalize or re-energize the whole Metro Rail system. But then there's the Gautrain. We've completed the first phase. I think that has been a huge success. I just saw the figures last night, 1.6 million people using the train now. So it's really picking up. We're looking at further expansion of the Gautrain. There's some planning work being done. And then the big thing is the bus rapid transit system, or the Via Via. I think people have, for the first time, experienced a bus system that is modern, that's clean, that's efficient, and takes you quickly to work. You're not stuck in the traffic like normal motorists are on the highways, etc. And it's also affordable. Mm-hmm. So I think the system is starting to fall into place. And what we now need to do is to integrate it so that you can move seamlessly using one mode of transport, hop off somewhere and hop onto another mode of transport. And I think the best example we have of this, what we call an intermodal facility, is really Park Station. I don't know if you've been to Park Station recently, but you will get Gautrain there, you will get Via Via there, you will get Metro Rail there, you will get your taxis there for local as well as Southern Africa or other parts of the country. So when you come into Park Station, many people still think it's this crime-infested area that you feel unsafe. You will see a modern shopping center now. I think they're just busy completing a food court. So it's a completely new experience. And you should be able to do a bit of shopping there, buy your newspaper, buy your eats, board the train or board a taxi, or even go to another part of the country from one facility. And that's the model of integration that we're talking about.
That's really refreshing because, I mean, if you have to look at the comments that are made from outside of South Africa, our public transportation is commendable if you have to compare it to other parts of Africa. And but we're still frustrated. So it's really refreshing to see that so much of work is being put into this master plan that you've developed.
Well, I think the footprints are there now. We've got to accelerate the pace. Also, I think the Gauteng is a city region, whilst you're focusing on Johannesburg specifically, but many people work across cities. So later this year, probably in October, we're going to be launching the Via Via of Tshwane. It's called Arieng. Now, they have planned Arieng for their city. Via Via has planned for Joburg. What's the connecting point? If I want to get on from Joburg city centre, and I want to get into Pretoria city centre, but I want to go through Via Via or the bus rapid transit system, there must be a point where I can interconnect with the other bus service. Mm-hmm. So we're looking at interconnecting across the 3 metropolitan cities. And increasingly, I think we are now talking about a city region. Gauteng as a city region and planning for the region as a whole rather than for one municipal area, say the city of Johannesburg, because the degree of mobility across the cities is so high. Mm-hmm. You land at OR Tambo International Airport, that's the city of Ekurhuleni. But you do your shopping in Sandton, which is the city of Johannesburg, and you take the Gautrain, it's a 12 or 15 minute ride, And you don't believe, your mind doesn't tell you you're moving from one city to another city. But in fact, you are. But we've got to plan for that. We've got to make sure that if you are a foreign tourist and you land at OR Tambo International Airport, without you even realizing it, you are connected to a number of cities, and the transport is really the backbone of that.
Now, we're talking about a 25-year master plan, so I'm assuming a lot of work, a lot of consultation had to take place. Give us a sense of the level of consultation that had to take place behind this plan, and also the expert knowledge you had to bring into that consultation process.
Transport infrastructure is a costly business. Gautrain cost us 30 billion rands. The via systems that we're trying to put into all three cities will be ballpark figure of 10 billion. So that is 40 billion. And if you're looking at metro rail, is another 20 billion over the next 10 or 15 years. If you want to spend 60 billion rands, if you don't plan for it, you're going to make big mistakes. And you can't afford mistakes here. So we've brought in the best technical expertise, not just departmental officials, but experts in all the spheres of transport, whether it's aviation, bus transport, taxi industry, increasingly non-motorized transport, cycling, cycling and walking. Walking is a mode of transport. God created us with 2 legs.
Sure.
That's a mode of transportation. People don't see it as a form of transportation, but it's a form of mobility. So to get to first of all, to envision a new type of experience 25 years from now, and then to put into place the building blocks for it, and to make sure that you can get it integrated. That's really what we are working on. The plan is there. It's been approved now by the provincial government. There's substantial support from all the municipalities. And we've just established a structure called the Gauteng Transport Commission as an entity to begin to coordinate much more closely between the province and the cities, so that we really have one mechanism that can begin to take us forward and roll out the plans. Because a plan on paper is, it will get dusty there. Is to roll it out in a systematic way, to get the budget for it and to get the best expertise and the best quality. And
also to break it down into chunks so that it becomes more pragmatic and more achievable. And commuters, we're all the same. We hear about the wonderful plans, but we just want to see results. So over the next 5 years, what would be the significant changes in the space of public transportation that will really stand out?
2 things I think that we're pushing very strongly, and that is cycling in the province at large. And I know the city has really grabbed this particular baton and they're running with it. You will begin to see in Braamfontein that we are starting to have colored lanes dedicated for cycling because people feel unsafe. We really think for short distances, people should be cycling in this province. It's good for your health. It's good for the environment. There's no pollution. It's extremely cheap. It costs you nothing but your own energy, right? Fuel is becoming very expensive. Traffic congestion is becoming a bit of a problem for us. So people are spending productive time in cars when we should really be moving around very quickly. So if you look at just outside where your offices are at the moment, they are busy, the city is busy rolling out at the moment dedicated cycling lanes from the University of Johannesburg down to Auckland Park, that's the whole media, where all the media houses are, to Wits University, right through to Braamfontein. Young people, this is really an academic, let's call it an academic link.
A lot of students here.
Yes. They should be cycling to university.
I need to buy a bicycle.
They should be cycling to university. We should not be having a parking problem at UJ or at Wits.
Sure.
Many of the students who are living in the accommodation in and around Melville and Braamfontein, etc., they should be cycling to university. We've got fantastic weather. We don't have snow. We don't have heavy rainfalls. And they should be walking. So that's for the future.
It sounds like an excellent plan. Gets us to keep ourselves fit as well.
And that's what, if you look at all the other major cities in the world, I mean, whether they are first world or even Shanghai, Beijing, I mean, you find business executives cycling to a meeting. It's not something that people feel ashamed of. It's actually the right thing to do.
So we need to get those bicycles out.
That's the key thing. And it's cheap, I can tell you that.
Sure. And talking about cheap and talking about the high cost of fuel as well, have you incorporated elements of green technology into your plan?
Well, we've just, I've launched now in the last year or so 2 full gas stations, gas meaning natural gas, not fuel, gas stations. There's 3 more in the pipeline for Gauteng. We are in partnership with several taxi associations that they have a hybrid engine system now. They've retrofitted the engine so you can use normal fuel or petrol, or you can do gas, and you do that by pressing a button in your system, and the car can switch the mode. We have found that it's 30% cheaper using CNG, compressed natural gas, compared to petrol. So immediately, initially the taxi guys were very uneasy and said, no, but MEC, what is this thing, you know? I said, try it out, try it out. They're making an immediate savings of 30% on their fuel cost. And it's good for the environment. And I've read recently the city is now also beginning to look at generating gas from their waste dumps. And I'm hoping that that's the way to go. I mean, petrol prices are becoming prohibitive. It's going to really start squeezing, if not, it's already starting to squeeze people's pockets. And we've got to look at alternatives.
Yeah, I think these are great, innovative ways.
We've got to start thinking differently. I think South Africans have to understand that we don't have unlimited natural resources, and we don't have unlimited space. We are a very small province as Gauteng. Yeah. Very small province, and massive inflow of people. And if we don't plan for that, we will have, I mean, very heavy traffic gridlocks in this province. It's down the line. It's either that we can plan for it and prepare for it and change our behavior, or we will sit 2 or 3 hours in traffic.
Just one quick question. Transportation is not just about efficiency and about easing congestion, it's also about economic development as well.
There's no doubt. I mean, all the research shows that a good public transport system and a good road network is a stimulator for economic growth. Where you have massive traffic congestion, it slows down your freight traffic. And again, Gauteng, because it's the center of the South African economy, we have large numbers of heavy-duty trucks coming into the city center. These should not be in the city center. They should be on the periphery of the urban edge. And that's what we're really starting to do. We're creating a set of logistics and freight hubs on the outer periphery of all our cities. And that's a 10-year, 15-year program. We need to connect that to rail so that we get them off the trucks, I mean, off the roads. Heavy-duty goods should really be moving on rail. That's the best practice in the world. But we don't have the rail system in place. So together with Transnet, we are working very closely to try and develop and fast-track that so that we can get a proper freight rail system going in our province.
Thank you so much for your time, Mr. Vadi. It was a pleasure chatting to you. We look forward to seeing the fruits of this master plan coming to effect very soon.
And I want to see you on a bicycle somewhere.
Okay, I'll join you on that.
Thank you very much.
Thanks.